You didn't quit. You're really like against all odds. You're doing something that no one in the family's done, that none of your friends have done.
I'm just gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Whatever is mine is looking for me.
You have to know what road to take to get to your final destination.
Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear.
Hello, happy Saturday. I'm gonna be honest with you when it comes to this live. I'm gonna try to remain as calm as possible because I feel like this is a very sensitive topic and I do want to be respectful, but I also want to be stern. So that is the point of this live. I kind of felt like I was bullied into making this live stream because I was being heavily projected on my community tab. I understand that people are upset. I'm not here to invalidate people's feelings, but it's very weird when people are asking sympathy and empathy from you, but they're not giving it to you in return. They're asking for something that they're not giving. And I just found that to be very interesting. In my humbling opinion, I don't know how to mourn and I don't know how to grieve someone that I believe was racist. Like, that is my honest opinion when it comes to the situation. I don't know how to mourn and give empathy and sympathy to someone that I truly believe wouldn't shit on me, spit on me if I was on fire. So that is what I feel. And everyone wants to invalidate how I feel about Charlie Kirk. And to be honest, I just found out about this man on Wednesday. I was in the beauty salon, I was getting my hair done, and I got educated on who he was at the shop. And you know how it is, you know how cultural it is in the salon. Um, Yeah, was this Wednesday? Yeah, this was literally Wednesday. So I'm at the salon and we got the news while I was at the salon that this man was unalived. And I didn't really know much about him. I'm learning more about him through this tragedy, honestly. I want to talk about some things though. Okay, I want to talk about this channel. This channel is about moving between two worlds, right? We live in a system that is racially driven and is systematically oppressed for marginalized groups. That is real. And as a Black woman that is moving into spiritual content, I also want to make it known that my experience here is a Black woman's experience. It's not anything else. We may be able to bridge the gap when it comes to the divide that tends to happen among us as people. But at the end of the day, like, I'm still a Black woman and I have a Black experience. No one can take that away from me, even if I wanted someone to. So it's weird when I'm getting projected on and I'm expected to show up in a very performative way, a very fake way. I'm supposed to come on here and put on this performance to show empathy and compassion. But the reality is, if I'm being truly authentic and real, I don't know how to grieve and mourn someone that I believe hated me. Like, I believe hated me simply because of my skin. I believe didn't care to understand my plight as a Black woman simply because of the color of my skin. And to be honest, I really thought about this. I really um let me just go ahead and turn on members only. I knew I was gonna have to do this anyway, so just give me a sec. Let me turn on members only because y'all not about to disrupt the live being weird. Okay. All right, because I'm protecting my peace. Okay. Now back to what I was saying. Um, when it comes to this year, there's just been so much going on. And then it's crazy, right? Because you have so many people that say things like, um, oh, you're an empath, and it's really weird that you can't give empathy at this time. And it's like I've been telling people all year that I've been going through personal things in my personal life. I've been consistent in this though, like me telling people I'm preserving my energy. I'm preserving the little bit of energy that I have left to give for 2025. 2025 has been a very rough year. It's been very hard on everyone that I talk to, everyone that I know. It's been a very challenging year. So I personally, I'm still working through what my family is going through. When it comes to my mom having cancer at the beginning of this year, I'm working through other things of family members losing jobs. I'm working through the emotional and depressiveness state that tends to want to come over me because of all of the darkness that we are currently experiencing as a collective. But here, a man that I believe most likely would hate me because of the color of my skin, I'm supposed to muster up some type of grief or this performative empathy and sympathy. And it's just like, that's not real to me. You know, like that's not real to me. And I really thought about it because I reflected on this. I've been a rape victim. I've been physically abused by men. I've gone through a lot of different things. And I really, really thought about it that even when it comes to those people, if they were to die tomorrow, I seriously don't know how I would mourn or grieve their passing, because those people that hurt me, betrayed me, and were harmful to me, at the end of the day, like at one point we had some type of relationship, but then it really like transformed and transpired into something that was very hurtful and harmful to me, and I still wouldn't even know how to mourn them. And I knew them on a personal basis, like I had personal relationships with them. I did not know this man. I just found out about him on Wednesday, and I feel like people are wanting to put this pressure on me and bully me into being performative when it comes to empathy and kindness, and it's not real. Like, it's not authentic to me. Then another thing too, because I believe in consequences. That's my belief system. So when I say things like you reap what you sow, if this man was out here and he was spreading hate through speech, even though that was his opinion, people are wanting to minimize the things that he said and the influence that he had. But I keep the same energy over here. This is a man that to me is no different than a red pillar. He's no different than a Kevin Samuels. He's no different than a passport bro. So I'm not really understanding the reactions from people. Like it's like really blowing me. And then when I said that you reap what you sow, I was raised to believe in consequences. It is the reason why I show up in the way that I do in the world, because I believe how you treat people, how you care for people, how you talk about people, how you show up for people, how you behave and interact with people, that it has consequences, good, bad, and indifferent. And I was raised to believe that. That is my belief system. And I also find that it's weird that I have this belief system and this is my belief system and I'm voicing it because that's my opinion. It's my freedom of speech. But yet people are taking offense to it. But you want me to not take offense to what Mr. Charlie Kirk was out here spewing and influencing a whole group of people that are very hateful. Because I've also seen the different discourse on social media about how his influence, it incites a lot of violence. It incites a lot of violence. So it's very weird to me. So let's get into some of the stuff that I've been seeing on social media, because I'm just like, I don't know how I'm supposed to mourn someone that I believe wouldn't like me if he met me. Wouldn't care for me if he met me. And then another thing too, because this is my belief system, right? This man, he strongly believed in the Second Amendment. That's what he believed in, and that is what he preached. That was his opinion. How do I not know that someone that strongly believed in the Second Amendment wouldn't want people to celebrate that he died based off of what he believed in? Like, he died, he preached all the way up into his death that he believed in the Second Amendment. And he also was very vocal about how he felt that deaths are worth it, considering that he believed in the Second Amendment. So much so to the point where he really felt like deaths are worth it. So it's like, it puts me in a really weird place because my belief system too is I would die for what I believe in. Like if I strongly believe in something and I'm really like standing 10 toes down on it, I'm willing to die for that. And I wouldn't want people to grieve me in sadness. I would want people to grieve me in celebration and praise. Like, that is an honorable man. He died for what he believed in. I'm an honorable woman. I died for what I believed in all the way up until my last breath. So again, it like really puts me in a weird place that people just want me to perform and react a certain type of way. And then when I don't respond or when I don't react a certain type of way, then it's like I'm being fake or I lack empathy or I'm just not compassionate or I'm fake and phony. And it's very weird. I never said that I celebrated this man's death. I never said I praised this man's death. I never even said that I felt really anything because honestly, when I heard the news, I really didn't know how to feel. And I'm the type of person, I need time to process things. And I really sat and thought about it for a few days. This is the reason why it's Saturday and this situation happened on Wednesday. I didn't rush to social media to make content and just hop on this bandwagon of praising and celebrating this man's death. I really did not know how to feel. I felt indifferent about the situation. And I'm going to pull up the definition of what it means to be indifferent about something. It does not mean you celebrate. It does not mean you praise. And let me go ahead and pull this up. I don't even know if I can. Okay, let me zoom it in. Because I don't know why people were projecting on me about celebrating his death. I don't celebrate death. The main reason I don't celebrate death is because I believe you reap what you sow. So if I'm sitting up here celebrating death, then death can come knocking at my door. So my belief is I don't celebrate death. Even when Kevin Samuels died, and that was a man I did not like. I can't say I hated him because I don't believe in hate. I can dislike you and not have to hate you. So, and I can strongly dislike you and not hate you. So when it came to Kevin Samuels, it was the same thing. I didn't celebrate his death. I wasn't praising his death. I wasn't happy that he died. I really felt indifferent about it. So having no particular interest or sympathy, unconcerned, neither good nor bad. That is where I stand with this. And then people are saying that oh, Yoni, like I'm a longtime supporter of you. Are you? Because do you remember this video? Because you know I'm gonna pull up the receipts. Do you remember this video? Because are you? And it's so crazy because y'all must have had me really upset. Y'all had me in a hoodie coming on here with no makeup on, having a conversation with y'all. Y'all had me really upset. Um, I didn't believe in celebrating Kevin Samuels' passing, and I didn't like him. And the reason I didn't believe in celebrating his passing was because I didn't want violence. I didn't want violence. And I felt like if Black women, we went out and we celebrated Kevin Samuels' death, then people would retaliate and it would be war for us. And I didn't want that. And it's the same thing that I feel with when it comes to Charlie Kirk. If I celebrate and praise his death, then I believe that it would create a race war. And I don't want that because I'm not for violence. So even though I feel indifferent about what happened to him, because I believe that he was a man that was racist, I still wouldn't celebrate his death and praise his death because I believe that people would retaliate because people are mourning his death. People are grieving. And sometimes empathy is just nothing, not giving any emotion at all, being more action based or no action at all. And so my compassion and empathy really is just no action at all. No celebration, no let me rub this in your face or let me I guess like celebrate that this is like he died. Like sometimes empathy is just nothing at all. It's just nothing. Like you just don't say anything at all. And I don't see anything wrong with that. So I made this video. This was 3 years ago. So when people are saying this is a new low for you, it's very weird because I'm the very same way with red pillars, passport bros, uh, just any man that I feel like is hateful, misogynistic, racist, a bigoted. Like I don't understand. It's like it's the same energy. I don't understand why this situation is so different for people. So let me continue. Always be about yourself when it comes to these platforms because it affects us all, whether you want to acknowledge that or not. That's what I'm saying. Now, some people are saying, oh, well, this is respectability politics. no one is saying that you should change your story. So if you have to log out and express your emotion stuff that doesn't help our situation as women. So basically, in this video, I'm encouraging people not to celebrate Kevin Samuels' passing, a man that I could not stand because of his views and his opinions. I'm urging women not to celebrate his passing because of the violence that could come from it. This was 3 years ago. So when people come in my comments talking about I've been a long time supporter. Have you really been tapped into what I've been saying on this platform? Or are you projecting on to me what you want me to be at times when it's fitting for you? Because even this woman here, she says, I lost 1,500 followers and one pending client in 48 hours because I was exactly who I've always been. But they saw who they wanted. I've always said, don't forget when you consume my platform, I'm a Black woman. I have a white husband, but I'm not a Candace. I follow Jesus, but I'm not a Christian nationalist. I have a business, but I'm not an entrepreneur, bro. I'm family first, but I'm not a trad wife. I have values, but I don't believe yours threatens mine. I'm grace filled, but I'm not the one or the two. And it's just like, I don't think people understand, like, this whole platform is about duality isn't conflict, it's a conversation. And yet people are wanting to turn this into conflict. Why? Like, what is the reason for that? And then people are trying to tell me what my platform is about. It's clear you don't know what my platform is about because it literally says there's duality. And in duality, there is not conflict, there's just a conversation. So sometimes when it comes to situations like this where we see things differently, we may not agree, and it's okay to agree to disagree. I don't know how to mourn someone that I believe hated me because I just wasn't white. I'm Black. I'm Black. I don't know how to mourn and grieve someone like that. I don't even know how I would feel about me being victimized by people from my past if they were to die, how I would mourn them or grieve them. I've never had that experience before. And then you're wanting me to mourn someone that I didn't have a personal relationship with, and I'm just now finding out all about them through this tragedy, and I'm seeing all of these like nasty things, nasty quotes that he left behind, and it's like, how is a person really genuinely authentically supposed to feel outside of performance? Because what I also learned about people in my comments is that your empathy and sympathy is just performance. Empathy and sympathy comes from a place of where you actually feel, not just let me hop right into what is expected, which is why a lot of people think sympathy and empathy looks a certain way. It doesn't always look a certain way. Sometimes it's truly a person feeling indifferent about something, because that is empathy. That is sympathy, feeling indifferent, not being celebratory, but not also being sad, just feeling indifferent. So let me continue. So I saw like some of the things. Let's see, where do I want to start? Oh, this right here is insane.
Why is nobody talking about the fact that the Republicans tried to start a race war over this? Is anybody else noticing that? Like, they were calling bomb threats to HBCUs. Like,
And then you know what's even crazier about this entire situation? It's like when you're Black and when you're a Black woman like myself, it's like even when you do nothing, like even when you decide, you know what, I'm sitting this one out. Like, I don't want any parts in this. I'm not for this. I'm not necessarily with this or anything. Like, you just literally just say, you know what, I'm just sitting this out. And it's like still like somehow we're to blame, we're at fault, like we're the reason that this happened. And it's like this literally has nothing to do with us. This is like me going to the white community and blaming them for like gang violence in the Black community. It literally makes no sense. I don't understand why this is being put on us as Black people. And it's like, even when Black people stay out of it and it has nothing to do with us at all, we're still the ones to blame. And the reaction is always violence towards us. And it's simply because we're Black. And it wasn't even like, and then now that the shooter has came out and it's been announced that this is a white male, the usual suspect for a mass shooting, right? It's going to be interesting to see how people move forward within their opinions, because it seems like a lot of people had very strong opinions before we found out who the shooter was, because a lot of people made assumptions that the shooter was either black, brown, an immigrant, or trans or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, where do these people still stand today now that we know that this shooter was a white male?
They had a rally shouting "white man fight back." Like, they legit tried to start a fucking race war over this shit, and like nobody, like, I was like, haha. And we're just moving on. We're just moving on. They tipped they tipped their hand. I feel like I'm the only one who saw them tip their hand, and is like, yeah, that's probably a fucking problem. We should probably like the. I feel like I'm in Crazy Town. I feel like I'm in Crazy Town. Like they pushed out good, but like, what the fuck?
Like, and this is such a great point. It would be weird to mourn someone who would be happy if the roles were reversed. Exactly. And when it comes to real empathy and sympathy, it truly, if it's coming from a real place and not performance, I don't even know how to pull I don't know how to pull the empathy. Like, seriously. Like, this is me being real with y'all and not being fake and phony. I don't know how to pull it, because it's like, it's really weird for me. It's like, if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't think that this person would care about me at all. Like, I don't think this person would even make a post about my life or anything like that. And it could be the same setup. A video was posted to social media. It was uncensored. Everyone saw it. I don't think this person would waste their time at all. And so when it comes to empathy and sympathy, you're supposed to feel moved. But see, all of us don't respond the same way. We don't, especially when we have different experiences in this world. Like me being black, I have a different experience. So to see someone like that, and to see like all of these quotes, these very hard opinions that he had, these very strong opinions that he had about black people, it's like, I don't know, it puts me in a very weird place. It does. It puts me in a very weird place. It puts me in the same place like if I saw the man that R'd me, right? And something happened to him and he died. I really don't know like how I would even mourn, if I would mourn his death at all, or if I would feel like that was some type of justice for me. Like, I wouldn't know how to feel. So I don't understand. It's like why people are projecting on me like I should feel this way, I should act this way, I should respond this way. And I'm like, that's not real to me. That's very performative. And it's not coming from a real emotional place. It's just coming from people feeling like I need to perform my empathy and sympathy because of the situation. And it's trending. And then another thing that I want to point out too, when it comes to social media, probably within the last, I would say 5 years, we have been extremely desensitized when it comes to seeing violent videos online, especially when it comes to gun violence. Because we live in a time now where I watched a video the other day, and I believe this situation happened in either Colorado or Minnesota, where it was a 10-year-old boy that was being interviewed after a mass shooting. And he was talking about how his friend Victor saved his life, another 10-year-old boy, and shielded him from a bullet, and he got hit in the back. It's now being updated that he survived that shooting. His friend Victor is home recovering. But it's just like, even the children are desensitized. Like, I never thought that I would see the media interview a 10-year-old boy after a mass shooting. Like, I didn't even think that we would be moving in that direction as a society. But here we are. Not only that, I don't know if we are being programmed or if this is like some type of propaganda that's being pushed on us currently right now. But why are these videos no longer censored? Like, why are we able to see people get gunned down and it's not censored anymore? So before I saw this video, when it comes to Charlie Kirk, I saw another video. I don't know if it was this year or if it was the end of last year, but I saw a woman on TikTok live lose her life and she was puned in the head. And I saw that. and I saw her die on video. And to be honest, it didn't really have a very impactful it wasn't an impactful experience for me. It was like that's when I realized that I had been desensitized, because it's like that type of content, I would literally feel the gruesomeness and I would automatically like feel instant like, oh my, like horror, or instant like I don't know, just feel instantly bad. But now it's like I see that type of stuff, and it's because I'm desensitized now, because we see so much violence on our phones. So it's like people are wanting us all to just perform and react a certain way. But the reality is, a lot of people are desensitized when it comes to gun violence, especially when we see it on our phones, because now it's happening more often. It's happening a lot. And then social media is not doing anything about it. Like, we can just see these videos. These videos don't get taken down, they're reposted. If you can't see it on this platform, on this, I don't know, like Instagram, then you can go to x.com, or you can go to TikTok. If you go on a smaller page that's not as large or big, where you can still see the uncensored video. And it just seems like social media is not really doing anything about it. And it's getting so bad to the point where social media is really not a place for children. It's really not. And to be honest, I saw my first dead body on social media. I never saw a dead body outside of a funeral. I never saw a dead body. But my first like dead body that I've seen, or my first like murder that I've seen, it's been social media. Like, it hasn't been any other place but social media. So I know everyone doesn't have that experience, but it's like, why are we not questioning that? And why is that not a topic of conversation? It's very strange to me. Then let me continue here.
Maybe it's because I come from a place with consequences, but I ain't shocked by the Charlie Kirk shit at all. Where I'm from, right or wrong, if you do things that negatively impact other people's lives, there's a chance that could cost you your life. Like, say you put hands on your old lady. She goes back to her parents' house, beaten and bloody, and then her little brother sees it, decides he's had enough. He goes over to that house and he puts 3 in your chest. Ultimately, he's dead because the little brother decided to pull the trigger, but we're going to act like the hillbilly didn't have no part to play in that? Or maybe it's because I'm on the side that has historically had all of the consequences heaped upon them. Like, we're the ones who always get assassinated. Harry T. Moore, Medgar Evers, Huey Long, Harvey Milk, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, the list goes on. None of them wanted to die. And to be sure, they died because someone came and pulled the trigger. They didn't make that decision. But we're going to act like that decision wasn't visited upon them because they decided to challenge the status quo, because they decided to negatively impact the ruling class? Now I've got a situation where I have an individual who has spent the last decade trying to strip the humanity away from everybody that he deemed lesser, out here impacting the lives of thousands, if not millions of people negatively, and I'm supposed to pretend like there are going to be no consequences. Again, whenever you do the type of things that impact, you don't know how you're impacting people's lives. You have no idea what your words or how they will affect somebody. We recognize this as leftists. I understand there's going to be people who don't like the shit that I have to say. It's cops right now who would love to put me in a bag. I get that. I go do it anyway because I believe that what I'm talking is worth dying for. I hope that Charlie Kirk feels the same, because whenever you get out here and you do the type of things that impact people negatively, you need to expect that those people you negatively impact are going to come visit consequences upon you. For right or wrong, it doesn't matter. In my world, that's the reality, and you should expect that it's going to come whether it does or not. I expect my retribution to come from the ruling class. Charlie.
And it seems like a lot of people are just focused on like morality. And it's like, not everyone has the same morals as you. Not everyone sees the world in the same way that you do. So like, there's your morals and your beliefs, and then there's the world. And so it's like, in the perfect world, he should be able to have his freedom of speech and he can impact people's lives negatively, and yet nothing happens to him. But that's not the world that we live in. So when I say you reap what you sow, I believe in consequences. You can't think that you can live in a world, do whatever, say whatever, treat people any type of way, and you think that there are no consequences. There's no cause and effect. There's no reaction at all. Like, you can't think that. And I believe that Charlie Kirk, he was a very intelligent man, that he knew the risk that he was taking. He knew the risk that he was putting his family under when it comes to the things that he was out here saying. Seriously. And then not only that, there are so many different conspiracies going on that this was an inside job. And I'm gonna get into that too. That sometimes, like, as people, when it comes to like politics, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or a liberal. Do we ever just take a step back sometimes and think like, damn, is it us that's doing this to each other? Or is it that these politicians are trying to create certain narratives for us to respond a certain way so that certain laws can be passed. Do we ever think about that for a sec? Are we really at war with each other in the way that we think? Or is it that we're being manipulated and gaslit? Because I don't know how many veterans I've seen where they say things like they've looked at this video and they're like, they instantly knew it was a pro that did that. They don't even, some of these veterans out here, and I'm talking like 20-year veterans, 30-year veterans, they're looking at that kid like, no way he pulled that off. So do we ever consider that maybe we're being manipulated and gaslit as a people? Because this is why I don't get into politics. The main reason I don't get into politics is because I believe we live in an oligarch. That's what I believe. I don't believe democracy is real. I think it's smoking mirrors. That's what I believe. I believe things are always constantly being orchestrated and we are being either manipulated or gaslit into going into a certain narrative that they have already set for us to go in. I don't even think that we really have a real say so. Like I don't. And I think that these tragedies happen and it is to get certain things that they want to be seen as democracy. And they are literally just manipulating us behind the scenes. And then we're being gaslit. So I don't know. I'm going to bring up some videos too where I saw veterans speaking out on TikTok. They're like, I'm not believing that kid did that. So who really knows?
And I'm supposed to reality, and you should expect it is going to come whether it does or not. I expect my retribution to come from the ruling class. Charlie Kirk is going to have to look out for it from every minority group that he's ever demonized. Moral of the story is, if you're going to be out here trying to impact people's lives negatively, you better believe in what the fuck it is you're fighting for. As always, bro, I appreciate y'all taking the time. Much love. Y'all have a good one.
Man, that's another thing. I've been seeing people minimize his opinions. It's like you can do that for you to give empathy and sympathy, but for other people, if he impacted their lives negatively in a very huge way, I don't think that everyone is going to respond in the same way. And that's just me being considerate of how others may feel that he may impact it negatively directly. So just because I don't have that experience, it doesn't mean that that experience does not exist out here. So I think that, when it comes to this whole empathy and sympathy thing, it's very clear that it's just one-sided. Like, you're not considering that how others feel that were directly negatively impacted by the things that he says. So when you minimize the things that he says, then you don't have the empathy and sympathy for those that he may impact it negatively directly and how they're still living through whatever he may have said or done. So I don't know why that's being done too, like dumbing it down and minimizing. I'm like, he wasn't just out here speaking his mind and exercising his freedom of speech. He had influence. He had real impact. And so that impacts culture. That impacts how people think. That impacts how people treat others. That impacts how people show up in the world. So those, like, to minimize his opinions is insane. Like, you wouldn't do that if it was a red pillar, because we've seen what the red pill community has done when they just give their opinions and weigh their opinions on different topics, especially when it comes to women. We've literally seen what that has done to a whole generation of men. So to sit there and say that, and this is what I'm saying, it's like when you're the type of person where you keep the same energy and you're very consistent in your stance and your belief, and then you have to deal with people that constantly switch up because they're being strung along like a puppet because this is what's trending and this is the popular thing to do and believe and to say. But it's like, it's a huge contradiction to all of the other things that you've been saying and doing and you've been advocating for years. Like, I've literally been advocating against red pill for years. And this is why, like, I'm really stepping away from this space because it's literally just about trends. It's just about trends. I will never forget in 2020 when the George Floyd situation happened and it was this, oh, black out your Instagram, black out your profile picture. We're not working with this brand. We're not working with that brand. Do you not understand? I haven't had a sponsorship since 2020. It's 2025. Have you seen all of your other faves out here go back to working with Target? But now the trend is to boycott Target, though. The trend is to boycott Target. But I wonder how many of your faves will go back to supporting and shopping at Target once it's no longer a trend to boycott. I'm done with the trends. I'm done with the faked the fake activism. Like, I'm done with that. This is just another one of those situations. And I'm pretty sure in about, I say 3 weeks, especially now that we know that the shooter is white, this will be forgotten about. No one will be talking about it because it won't be trending anymore. Y'all don't respect people who actually stand on business and are consistent. You're out here just going along with what is popular. But I've been speaking out against red pillars, passport bros, misogynistic men with misogynistic views for years. So I'm like really, really confused. And then it's really strange when you have people hitting you with, I've been following you for years. I'm like, have you? Have you really? Because when it comes to Charlie Kirk, a lot of his fan base are red pillars. That's who supports him. So I'm like really I'm genuinely confused. Like Shelly says, I'm genuinely confused. I'm genuinely confused. It makes no sense. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And I haven't had sponsorships on my platform since 2020. And I've been seeing people just shove products down your throat, making you go in debt. Because I got to be real with you, making you accumulate all of this interest on your credit card. But we were supposed to be standing 10 toes down on Black Lives Matter. Do you see why I'm just like, I feel indifferent about the situation? I really don't know how to feel. Because I'm like, are y'all really serious about this? Do y'all really care about this man's life? Do you really care about his family? Do you really care about his kids? Or is this just a trend for you? Oh my God. It's like, and then like to be condemned for being consistent is very weird for me. And then it's like, y'all don't like real. Y'all don't like authentic. Like y'all don't. Y'all like performers. Y'all like performers because I don't know, it like paints this like this picture and it creates this stereotype for you to believe in, or it creates this aesthetic for you to believe in. But the whole time it's smoke and mirrors. That's all it is. It's smoke and mirrors. And then they'll move on to the next thing, especially when it comes to trying to sell you something, trying to promote something. They'll just move on. And then you get mad at people like me that are like really consistent in the things that I say. I actually practice what I preach. It's insane. So I'm just like, I don't know. I like I said, I'm genuinely confused. Then this situation too, because this man brought this up, and I'm bringing this to your attention because do I believe our government is capable of something like this? Absolutely. For a political agenda? Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mogvet here. For those of you who don't know me, I spent 24 years in the United States Army, and I did 5 deployments, including one to Mogadishu, Somalia, and I spent about 12 years working with special operations folks. So I know a little bit about Navy SEALs, Rangers, Delta Force, etc. The average infantryman couldn't pull off that shot. That was done by a highly skilled marksman with sniper training. I don't want to get into all the specifics about recognizing chaos when you compare, say, something that didn't happen in Butler, Pennsylvania. You see the crowd kind of go, and when you see the Charlie Kirk's little assembly in Utah. The two guys.
I don't know why is it doing that. Hold on, let me see if I need to pull this up. I don't know why it's doing that, because that's so weird why it's choppy.
For those of you who don't know me, I spent 24 years in the United States Army, and I did 5 deployments, including one to Mogadishu, Somalia, and I spent about 12 years working with special operations folks. So I know a little bit about Navy SEALs, Rangers, Delta Force, etc. The average infantryman couldn't pull off that shot. That was done by a highly skilled marksman with sniper training. I don't want to get into all the specifics about recognizing chaos when you compare, say, something that didn't happen in Butler, Pennsylvania, when you see the crowd kind of going, and when you see the crowd with Charlie Kirk's little assembly in Utah. Here's the deal. What were the two guys standing directly behind Charlie Kirk doing? But I want you to focus on the guy that's wearing the dark shirt with the sunglasses. He wasn't the least bit surprised or scared. And you know why? He was expecting that. And here's the sad part, just like the Butler, Pennsylvania incident. The mainstream media will not discuss this event in any level of detail other than, we're looking for the suspect. Two things are going to happen with the suspect. One, they're not going to find him. And two, if they find him, there's an old story. Dead men tell no lies. Mogvet here. For those of you who don't know me, I spent 24 years in the...
So my point is, before we start coming at each other, okay, we don't even know if this was all just like a setup. Like we don't even know if this was to create this race war online, like, or in person. Like we don't even know. Like we just are out here just going off of emotions. We're not even processing the situation. We're not even allowing details to come out. We're not allowing information to roll out. We're just all just emotionally reacting. And we're not even thinking for real. And another thing that's kind of weird too was how quickly that video spread online. It spread fast. It spread so fast. They wanted to make sure that everyone saw that. In the history of social media, when has that ever been a thing? In the history of social media, when have they ever allowed something like that to just spread like that so fast? Then another thing too that I want to show. Let me see. Is it him?
You know, people, I want you to go out and I want you to watch that video of Charlie Kirk getting shot. It's horrific, but there's a reason. Stick with me. This is Old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Yeah, I hope it's better. If you've never killed anything before, that's going to be a really hard video for you to watch. It is. It is not pretty. And the moment I saw it, where he got hit and how much, I knew he was dead. I did. I knew he was not going to survive that wound. But you need to watch it, and here's why. After you watch that video, the first thing I want you to think of, and the only thing I want you to think of, is that's happening to children.
Right.
In our schools all the time. You know, they're really good about arguing about this stuff. These Republicans have no problem arguing about this stuff because you never see it. You never see what it's like. Well, you get a chance to see what it's like. Go watch it before all those videos are taken down. Then imagine that as a terrified little baby. Yeah. Do it.
And then did you all see this? Like this was insane too. Hold on.
So a white supremacist gets by another white person in one of the whitest states in the United States, Utah. Utah is a place that the average black person will never, ever try to go to unless they are just passing through. Man gets unalived in Utah on the West Coast. And today, the very next day, multiple HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, are threatened with violence to the point that they have to shut down and cancel their classes. HBCUs are primarily located on the East Coast and throughout the South. Nowhere near Utah. The only HBCU that I'm aware of is in LA. Again, nowhere near Utah. Nothing to do with Utah. But our schools are being threatened in retaliation to a crime that a black person did not commit. And none of us is surprised. It's ridiculous, but none of us is surprised. And this is why we said stop talking to black people and black Americans in particular about how we're next in all of this, because we have been always. The response to anger in this country has always been to target this community. If you live near or around an HBCU, if you live near or around any rural, sundown areas, please be careful. Please be alert. Don't take any crazy chances. But
it's really crazy because I've been saying at the beginning of this year that black women have been under attack. And I've been saying this and saying this and saying this, and now I'm seeing black women come out saying that we are under attack, especially after, the whole we are the most unemployed in America right now. And so I started seeing an uptake of me getting attacked right after the election. And I started seeing, like, I don't know if they were bots. I don't know if they were real or not. I even made that money long video warning black women to not automatically assume or think that it's a black person, let alone a black woman behind some of these profiles. And I saw the situation that happened with Kelly Price. I saw that situation, and I'm not saying that there may not be any truth to what she's saying, but I'm warning black women to be careful to not just assume that that person that is attacking you in that way is a black person. Because another thing, it's been confirmed, I think it was like either at the end of last year or at the beginning of this year, that PR firms have the ability to buy bots and create narratives on social media. Like, that is a confirmed thing. It's been coming out in lawsuits with celebrities that has been exposed. So be careful about automatically assuming that that person behind that account is a real person, that person behind that account is a black person, because it may not be. You don't know, but we shouldn't just automatically assume. And then another thing too, that when it comes to like this online movement of black people celebrating, every person that I've talked to in real life, that I've interacted with, my family, my friends, no one is celebrating this man's death. I have not talked to a black person or a person of color that is celebrating this person's death. I've seen it online, but sometimes I don't take social media too serious because people do things for clout, people do things for engagement, people do things for money. I went out and I just started engaging with people, and even the people that were educating me on who Charlie Kirk was on Wednesday at the shop. No one was jumping up and down in the shop celebrating and excited that this man had passed. I have not spoken to a person that takes that stance at all. So I don't understand like why that's being pushed so heavily, and to the point where it's being projected on me, and it's like, I don't celebrate death. I just don't. Like, I feel like it's weird. I feel like when you celebrate death, then death can come knocking at your door. So I don't understand like why that's being projected so heavily. And I do see like some of the stuff that's on social media, but again, I don't take that stuff too literally, because I understand that people are literally doing things for shock value, rage bait, clout chasing, and they're doing all of this stuff. So it's just like, I don't really engage with that at all. I don't even engage with rage bait content online anymore. Like, I literally saw that gingerhead man and I kept scrolling because I just don't engage with that type of content. I already know what the purpose and the agenda is. So I just scroll past it, or I may even block the content creator because I don't want to engage with that energy at all. So that's another thing that I've noticed. I have yet to talk to a Black person, a person of color in real life where they're celebrating this man's death. Like I have yet to come across someone that's doing that.
In the last 24 hours or so, I've received a lot of public scrutiny and backlash in response to the fact that yesterday, after Charlie Kirk died, I cried, and then the video of me crying was blasted all over the internet. So first and foremost, I am distraught because of what happened to Kirk. I think that gun violence is always wrong, and I also think that violence leads to more violence. In fact, today we've already had 3 HBCUs go into lockdown because of retaliatory threats in response to what happened to Kirk.
Dean made that video trying to justify why he was crying over Charlie Kirk, saying that, he was receiving scrutiny for crying over Charlie Kirk. You weren't receiving scrutiny for crying over Charlie Kirk. You were receiving scrutiny for trying to make other people feel bad for not crying over Charlie Kirk. Then you tried to sneak.
And I also want to say this too. And I've really been reflecting over this. If the shooter would have been like Black or brown, I think I would feel something, because then it has like a direct impact on me. Like as a Black woman, I probably would feel grief and mourning that it came to that violence. But it's like, now that I know that this is like a white on white crime type situation, I'm like, I'm like, what do people really want from me? Like, I really don't know what people expect or what they truly want from me. Like, it just like puts me in a very like odd position in place, because I'm like, okay, like I think I would have felt some type of way, because I don't like violence like that. And I don't think that violence is the answer when it comes to the things that's going on. I don't. So it just makes it even weirder now that I know that the shooter is white. This is a white on white crime. It just makes it even like, I feel like it's not my place at all. Am I the only one that feels that way? I'm like, is this even my place to even be involved in this at all? I don't feel like it's my place at all.
Black people in there saying that HBCUs receive retaliatory threats. Let me show you what the definition of retaliatory means. The word retaliatory is an adjective that describes something done as retaliation, that is, as revenge or punishment in response to someone's action. Retaliatory means acting in a way that is intended to get back at or punish someone for something they did. We didn't do shit. So don't call it retaliatory threats. Call it exactly what it is. Call it hateful threats. Call it raceful threats.
And I do believe that I think Black people would be grieving or mourning in a way because of the impact that if the shooter was Black or brown, then that would be an impact on us, and it would directly impact us negatively. And I think we would be mourning and grieving his death. But I feel like now that we know that this has nothing to do with us, we're just like, okay, we're hands off with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have a dog in the fight. It's like, I don't know what to think. I don't know. I think it's fake that people expect things of us right now, when it's like, this literally has nothing to do with us. We have been projected on. People have inserted us in this. They had to shut down HBCU campuses and things like that. And it's just like, why were we even inserted to begin with? And it was that assumption. And then Utah, it's like, come on, Utah. Have you been to Utah? Because I barely see any Black people in Utah. And that's why I was like, even when I heard the news, I was like, Utah, though. I was like, I don't really think, we be, and then not only that, like the school, it was predominantly a white school and everything. I was just like, I don't think this is us. But I mean, some of the things that I did see that he said, I was like, there's a possibility there could be us. But when I found out that it wasn't, then I really distanced myself after that. I'm like, this really don't have nothing to do with me at all. Like, it has nothing to do with us, Black people, brown people, trans people, the LGBTQ plus community. It has nothing to do with us, like, at all.
Call it exactly what it is, because that's what it is. This is not retaliation. Black people played no part in this. Y'all saw who played the part in this. But this should tell you why Black people aren't mourning and don't feel bad at the fact that Charlie Kirk is dead, because this white man killed Charlie Kirk, yet somehow Black people got brought into it, and now you have people threatening the lives of young Black adults, young Black college students.
And do you see why we feel the need to be hands off with this situation? Do you see why we feel the need to distance ourselves? No, like seriously, do you see why we feel the need to like not get involved at all? Because even with us not even being a part of the situation at all, like violence is being incited on us. Do you see why I'm just like, let me remove myself? Like, let me move out the way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be associated. I don't want my image to be out there. I don't want anything to be involved when it comes to this because it literally does not take much for us to be scapegoated when it comes to things that happen like this. So it's like, do people not understand that that's another layer to this? It's like, we don't want to be involved or associated with this at all because even when we're not a part of the problem, we're still the problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, like, like, let me move out the way. Let me move out the way. It's kind of like when you're growing up and you are with your siblings and they were out here doing stupid stuff and they not supposed to be doing that, and that if your parents found out about it, so then you're like, oh, I don't want to know, I didn't see that, don't involve me, I don't want no parts in that because I don't want to be held reliable or accountable later when mom and dad finds out. It's very similar, like it's a similar thing. That's why I'm like, don't involve me in this at all. This don't have nothing to do with us. We don't want to, I don't want to be involved in this to where I'm liable or accountable, or I'm not associated with this activity at all. I'm not for violence. I don't agree with what that man did. I have no dog in this fight at all, like whatsoever.
Played no part in this. But now this is why. Do y'all understand why we don't feel bad?
I'm just like, like don't be mentioning me. Then did you see this? This was even crazier.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier.
What an interesting thing to say. I mean, of all the things to pray for, that's what you prayed for? That it was someone from another state? And what you're not saying out loud is you wish it had been someone from a Democrat state. Or that it had been someone from another country because it would have fit your narrative about immigrants. But your prayers didn't work, which is ironic because we've been saying all along that thoughts and prayers do not work across the board when it comes to gun violence. You can literally see him struggling with accepting that this crime was committed by a young white man. And it's not because it was committed by a young white man, it's because it wasn't committed by someone from another community. Now he doesn't get to spin his narrative and spew his hatred, which they've been doing for the last 48 hours.
And I'm gonna make myself clear for those that are just slow. I did not celebrate this man's death. Not in private, not at all. First of all, it's not my foundational belief system. It's just not a part of that at all. Because, like I said, I believe in consequences and I believe that you reap what you sow. And if I go out celebrating anyone's death, I'm calling on death and I want it to be at my front door. And I don't want that. So that's one. But the main reason, I don't want a race war. I don't want to live through that. 2025 has already been hard as fuck. I don't want a race war. Period. So I even if I felt some type of way, like really like angry against this man, I still wouldn't celebrate because I don't want a race war. Do you know what that would mean for this country? And then to have a race war with Trump in office? Absolutely not. Could you imagine what the world would look like? What America would look like? So the fact that people projected that on me, I'm like, you really don't know me then. Because I would never, ever, ever, I would never encourage that on my platform. Y'all thought it was real for me with Kevin Samuels. This is even worse. This is way worse. And I was telling you not to celebrate that man's death because I felt like people would retaliate. Black men would retaliate on us violently as Black women. But this is on a whole nother level. I would never influence, encourage, not publicly, not privately. I would never do that because I know what the consequences would be of that. Because again, back to my belief system, I believe in you reap what you sow. So it goes both ways. It's not just a one-sided thing with me. So with me standing in that, I would never encourage y'all to praise or celebrate this man's passing. And it was violent. Absolutely not. No way. No way, no way, no way. Not right now. That's the last thing. That is the literally that is the last thing that this country needs is a race war. And honestly, like I needed so much time to process what had happened because I'm like, "Oh my God, what if the shooter is black? What does this mean for me? What does this mean for my family? What does it mean for black children? Like, what does this mean for us? Things get really weird, at the gym, things get really weird in the grocery stores. Things get really weird when you're in the park exercising. Things get really weird when there's race wars and things like that going on. Things get really weird for black people after dark. Like I would never encourage that, like whatsoever. I would not. I would not. We would be on lockdown. There would be a curfew. It would be hell. So, no, like, no, I always have foresight. Absolutely not. I would never, ever, 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 ever encourage that, like, at all. So, let me continue. And then I'm going to talk about this too because this was heavily in my comment section. I had so many Christians project on me, and this is another thing too. I have said this so many times, and I've said it gracefully. When it's time for Christians to show the Christian love through Jesus's legacy, you all always miss the mark. You're hypercritical, you're judgmental, you lack the empathy and sympathy that you are feeling entitled to from me and from others. And it's very strange. So overlook how I feel, right? Overlook how I feel as a black woman. Overlook how I felt that some of the things that he said were very harmful and just downright disrespectful. Overlook that I feel that this man was hateful towards black people. I don't think he really liked black people at all. Like, overlook how I feel, but you don't even want to give me, your neighbor, any empathy or sympathy because you feel like I need to give it to him. But what about me? What about you giving me that empathy and sympathy? So this is my choice. This is my freedom of speech. The very thing that you're minimizing when it comes to his opinions and the things that he was putting out here. So you want me to overlook that. And you're coming to me and you're looking at me as a black woman who's simply saying, I feel indifferent. And you don't have any empathy or compassion to me. You're striking me off to hell. And you're saying, I hope God has mercy on you. Are you serious? And it's like at every time there is an opportunity or a chance for a Christian to show that Christian love, you always miss the mark. Like every single time. Then I'm the enemy. I'm going to hell. I'm the worst person ever. And it's all because I said I was indifferent. And the same empathy and compassion that you want me to give, you don't even extend to me, your sister, your neighbor. It's insane. And then it's just I saw the comments on my community tab. I never said I praised this man's death. I never said I celebrated it. That was an assumption that people made. And I'm like, are you coming from someone else's platform and then you're coming to my platform and you're just assuming because I'm just not outpouring with my sympathy and empathy that I'm celebrating his passing or praising it? I just it's like really insane to me. And I'm just like, I'm gonna start blocking people. And listen, when it comes to this platform, I'm not deleting your comment. If I feel moved because I feel like you're being disrespectful, I block. I don't delete comments because I don't want to see you in my comments ever again. So I feel like I'm more purposeful in blocking you than deleting your comment. I don't see the purpose in deleting your comment. I see the purpose in blocking you though. Like, I'm just being honest. But no way. Like, and then the girl that was just coming at me sideways, I never saw your original comment. I don't know what your original comment was. YouTube can censor comments. Like, even when it comes to ads on videos. Like, I had someone tell me, Yoni, there's so many ads. And I'm like, you know what's crazy? I didn't put an ad on this video. I didn't put any ads on this video. YouTube did. And so I don't know. I don't remember when this started, but there was a change that happened like probably like 2022 when it became available where there's a disclaimer before you can comment, and then like there's this whole disclaimer like on this platform you can't say this, don't do this, don't do that. Whenever they decided to put that in place, that's when YouTube started censoring comments. Now, I do have certain words that are blocked on my platform, so I'm not sure if maybe you used a word that I blocked and so it got deleted or what, but I promise you I never saw your comment. And what's even crazier, I don't even feel like your opinion was offensive. So all that hostile animosity that you were throwing to me as a Christian woman it was insane. And then, right, like the whole your whole energy was, oh, I just know she saw my comment. But let's think about this for a sec. What if I'm telling the truth? What if I'm actually telling the truth? What if I'm telling the truth? I didn't really see your comment. How do you think I feel? And this is what I'm saying. Like, empathy is also being able to see things from a different perspective or a different point of view, that sometimes a misunderstanding is just the issue. We're not in conflict with each other. There's just a simple misunderstanding. So a conversation could have been had. Hey, Yoni, like, did you see my comment? Hey, Yoni, what did you mean by this? Instead, you know what happens? I get projected on and I get attacked. I just get attacked. I don't get asked questions. I don't get asked for clarity or anything. I just get attacked. And I'm just like, damn, all I said was I was indifferent. That's all I said. I didn't say anything else. I said, you reap what you sow. How many times have I said this on this platform? Consistently. I believe in consequences. How can I not believe in consequences, but I believe in accountability? How can I, like I said, I'm genuinely confused. Like, I'm genuinely confused.
That Charlie Kirk passed away, and I don't care what your political party is, I don't care what you believe in, that was a man of God, and y'all took his life.
I am so happy that so many of these Christian content creators are being exposed. Yep. Because there is no way y'all thought Charlie Kirk was a man of God. And white men are allowed to do this. Y'all allow them to hold a title of men.
I do think there's a difference between Christians and white nationalists. I do think there's a difference. I believe Charlie Kirk was a white nationalist. I mean, he may have labeled himself Christian, but I think he was more a white nationalist than anything. Meaning, what does this mean, right? For Christians, it means that even though he's calling himself a Christian, his white nationalism comes before his religion. You get what I'm saying? So before y'all come attacking me, that's what I mean by this. That's what I mean. But I'm standing 10 toes down on the Christian love. Like, that the Christian hate is real as hell. Cause I'm like, damn, all I said was I was indifferent. That's all I said. And so I see that we seek Charlie differently. I don't think that this man was Christian. I think he was a white nationalist, and he just used the whole Christian label as like this self-righteous, like it put him in this self-righteous position when it comes to his views of being a white nationalist. That's it. That's really it. I see the difference, because when it comes to that white community that they created, and it was like a Christian community and is a white community, black people wouldn't be able to go into that community as a Christian. You still wouldn't be able to go in because you're not white. You're not white. You have to be white and Christian. So I don't think black Christians are ready for that conversation. Like, it's so much deeper than you just being a Christian. And then this is the thing. The reason why I don't really consider Charlie Christian is because it shouldn't be about race. It shouldn't be about your skin complexion, right? Not in Christ, right? Not in Christ. So I definitely feel like there's a difference, because I could just it's and I think that that's the confusion online. Why there's such a divide reaction when it comes to Charlie. It's like a lot of us don't see him as Christian. We see him as a white nationalist. That's it. That's it. And so other Christians see him as Christian, and I'm like, how? With views like that, how? Can you explain to me how? And I'm like, it literally goes against scripture. Seriously, some of the things that he was saying, I'm just like, that's not Christ-like. That's not Christ conscious. That doesn't give Jesus's legacy. That's not what he stood for. If Jesus was here today, he would literally be outside with the homeless. He would shake hands with trans people. Literally. So that's not what he was about. He was about the complete opposite of that. So I'm more so like, I'm not really big on labels. I'm big on actions and behaviors. And that man wouldn't have been out there shaking. That man, listen, if Jesus was here today, he would be out there with the homeless. He would be feeding the homeless. He would be out there with the sick. He would be out there with the elders. Like, he would be doing a lot of like community work for people in need. So I don't know. I don't get like why people are seeing him as like Christian. I'm like, he gives white nationalism to me. That's it.
God, Christ-like, and being the most hateful people. He was not at those campuses preaching the gospel. He cared more about Trump than Christ, period. Next. Meanwhile, spinning racist rhetoric. But he said he loved God, so Trump claimed Christianity. Hitler claimed Christianity. The Nazis claimed Christianity. Even the fact that he supported Trump. And
let me rewind that for Black Christians, because I need y'all to understand that I don't have anything against your beliefs. It's this though that I'm just like, it really rubs me the wrong way. I believe in Jesus's legacy. I do. I really do. But it's like, do you like everyone is not Christian just because they say they are. You are aware that sometimes they just say that because, again, like, it makes them feel better about their beliefs and how they view people that don't look like them. I mean, did we not forget how the Bible and how Christianity was used during slavery?
But he said he loved God, so Trump claimed Christianity. Hitler claimed Christianity. The Nazis claimed Christianity. Even the fact that he supported Trump in all of his ways. Was those the fruits of the spirit that we were supposed to be seeing? My block button has been working great. Period. And the fact that y'all are so serious, it scares me. And she's talking about y'all took his life. No, we didn't. Another white, conservative, self-proclaiming Christian did.
And then you know what's even like, y'all, you know what's even crazier is seeing people take Christian theology and validate that no, he really was a Christian and he was a good man because he believed in God. I'm I'm disturbed. Like, I'm really disturbed. Like, I'm really disturbed. I'm just like, okay. All right. All right.
Yeah. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want any more people, losing their life that way. But we've seen it in history before, and it's always them. It's always them.
And this is why you see so many like people that are under religion, like you see them get away with so much stuff because, well, that's a man of God, that's a woman of God, and they literally terrorize people, abuse people. Did you hear about that pastor that was arrested? And he literally, I mean, based off of the storyline, that man was a pimp. Okay, he was just in sheep's clothing. That's it. I'm like, are people like? I urge Christians to look at people's behaviors and like their beliefs, like beyond them just believing in God, because if you sit at certain dinner tables, things get awkward really quick, especially if you're Black and then they're white, and then like the white nationalism starts to come out, and it's like, well, where does that place you as a Black person? I just want y'all to think about that, because that, ooh, I don't know. I don't know.
We got him? He's Muslim, right? Black? Latino? At least he's an immigrant. What do you mean he's from Utah? At least he's trans? Guys. Okay, does he use pronouns? What do you mean everybody uses pronouns? At least he's a radical leftist?
This is crazy. This is so crazy. Do y'all remember that pyramid I showed y'all a few months ago? The world pyramid? Remember the world pyramid? At the bottom, it was debt slaves. Hello, I'm a debt slave. You're a debt slave. If you have debt and you're not rich and wealthy, you're a debt slave. It was the debt slaves. Then above that, it was entertainment, corporations. And in the entertainment section, religion, politics, I just feel like we're being played. It's the reason why I don't like getting into all of this divisiveness. Like, I don't believe in it. That's like, I don't believe in the divisiveness. That's part of the reason why I don't like to get into politics. I don't like to get into the whole divisiveness when it comes to religion. I don't, because I really believe that it's just all for entertainment. It's all to distract us from what's really going on. The laws that they're passing right under our noses when these type of situations happen in the world, in America. So I don't even believe in it anymore. And then every year when it comes to, well, I would say every 4 years or 8 years when it comes to elections now, there's always some type of glitch. Always. There's always some type of glitch now. So, oh yeah, voting was in the entertainment section. Y'all should really go check out that world pyramid. Y'all should really go check it out. And then also look at the back of your dollar bill. It says, "In God we trust," with the pyramid with the eye on it. No cross inside. No cross inside on the dollar bill. It's crazy. So, those are things you could look into. Highly recommend. I'll try to see if I can find the link to that world pyramid so you can look at it for yourself and see what you think. But like I said, I think the joke's on us. That's what I think. And getting into this divisiveness, it doesn't matter if it's religion, politics, classism, hell, taxes, because I'm not for what's going on over there in Gaza. I don't feel comfortable. I don't sleep well at night knowing where my tax dollars are going. I don't feel comfortable with that at all. So, yeah.
He's not a leftist? He's not even a Democrat? Guys, is this the same exact person as last time? A different one? How am I supposed to spin this? What do you want me to do? Lord, you know I prayed that it wouldn't be one of ours. Okay.
And then, like, this is why I said this is white nationalism. This is not Christianity, okay? Praying to God and like really walk with me. Like creating a prayer like that. Could like I like when I pray to God, I don't create prayers like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't like, oh, God, don't let it be us. Like, oh God, let it be some. I have never thought to pray a prayer like that. I'm all about truth. So whatever the truth is, let the truth be revealed. Not let me pray to God and try to manipulate what the truth is. Just reveal the truth, God. That's all I ask. That's all I can ask for. So I'm just like, are you sure that that's what Christianity is? Like, are you sure that's what that is? Or is that something else? Because I wouldn't even think to pray like that. But hey, I'm just a crazy lady on the internet with crazy opinions and conspiracy theories. I'm no one. So I don't know, but I'm just like, I ain't never prayed no prayer like that against and then to pray a prayer against people. Like, that is crazy. And y'all think that that's what Christianity is? Y'all think that that is what that's Jesus's legacy? That ain't Jesus's legacy. Like praying against a whole group of people. That's crazy. But okay. Okay. I'm just making all of this up, by the way. I'm just making it all up.
Give me a second to think. What would the president do? What would the president do? What would the president do? Okay, I think I got it, you guys. We're gonna blame the mental health crisis.
Crazy. And you know, they always doing that. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm the more I look at this situation and the more I reflect over the events that happened, I would not be surprised if that man was sacrificed by his own people. And I just would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But again, everything's alleged here. It's just my opinion. but I wouldn't be surprised. Like the timing and all. And then it's like, to my people that understand where I'm coming from, why is it that the timing is always an interesting time? You know what I mean? Like, why is it that when these type of things happen, other things are happening? Major things are happening in the background. But we're too emotionally high and sprung because we're so focused on the tragedy that we're not even seeing what's going on in the background. Hell, some of us are unaware of what's going on in the background. We're not even paying any attention to what's going on in the background at all. Listen, y'all called me nuts. Y'all called me nuts when I told you that the vax wasn't safe to take. And now there's a whole lawsuit that's happening. Another lawsuit under our noses about how the vax was in fact harmful. And I literally spoke out about that and tried to warn people. But we trust FDA approved. We trust the United States government. Whatever they say, we just go along with it. That's what we do. We don't question anything. We just go along with whatever it is. But literally at the time before Google bought DuckDuckGo, there were scientists that were speaking out, urging and warning people about the vax during that time. They were, but they were being silenced. Some of them were being murdered. Some of them were being shadow banned on YouTube. Like, it was crazy how I would go to DuckDuckGo and I would try to research information on the vax because at that time, DuckDuckGo was not owned by Google. So the censoring was not on DuckDuckGo, but you were being censored if you used the Google search engine. So I went to DuckDuckGo and I was finding different information. And I'm like, what the hell? And then the links would lead me back to YouTube to these videos of these scientists speaking out, but they were shadow banned. No one can see them. You're being censored on a daily basis. And then it's another reason why I brought up earlier in this video, I'm like, okay, so we're being censored. But then when it comes to that video circulating on social media, that wasn't censored. When they want to censor things, they do. That's what I do know. When they want to censor something, they have no problem doing it. So best believe that everything that they do is intentional. And I watch them be intentional. I literally watched how Google went from saying it takes 15 to 30 years to create a vax. And then they switched the information to, well, according to the CDC, the 2020 pandemic, they literally switched up the information right before our eyes, right before my eyes. And that's an experience that I had. No one can tell me that that didn't happen. But I'm nuts and I'm a crazy lady, even though that's literally what I saw. And then I find it to be so interesting that after all of this, DuckDuckGo gets bought by Google. Look it up. It gets bought by Google. And so now DuckDuckGo is not even a trusted source for uncensored information.
And then we're going to gut all the funding to all of the social programs.
Like, I don't get it. So yeah, like when you see stuff like that and you have a consistent pattern of seeing things like that, it's like, what am I supposed to think? What am I supposed to think? But I'll give it 3 to 5 years. Some of you will start to see what I'm talking about because you'll start to see patterns of what I'm talking about, because that's how I got here. I started seeing patterns. And then I started also seeing inconsistencies, especially with the news. Have you ever watched the news in a different country and how they report on what's happening here in the United States? Totally different narrative. Totally. People are afraid for our lives. They are afraid for us in America. Like, they are literally terrified. They're like, oh my God. The news outside of the country when it comes to America is completely different than in America, the news. So the only thing I can ask is that you venture out and you try to seek information for yourself. Black women to the front. Black women to the front.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're a Black woman and you're generous and giving and just generally like a really good person, someone who shows up for people, someone who is reliable, all of the above. And you find yourself in this position where whenever something breaks down or somebody's going through something, you end up being the people that everybody's like, Jackie will fix it. Jackie will help you. Jackie.
So remember when the deportations were happening and I was like, I literally don't have the energy to give? Because I've been consistent. So when people are like, this is a new low for you, I've literally been consistent. I don't know what else to say. I have been so consistent. My family has gone through a lot this year. I have gone through a lot this year. My mental health is hanging on by a thread. I don't want to watch the news. I have anxiety. I literally deleted my Instagram, my main page, Real Yoni, because I couldn't take it anymore. How many times do I have to say, I don't have it to give? Yet people are feeling entitled to me to give it. Like I'm the help and I'm here to serve and fix everything that happens. It's insane. I literally had to pull back this year. I told the internet that my mom had cancer, and the only reason why I told the internet my mom had cancer was because I had people on a subscription. And I didn't want people thinking that, oh, she's just taking our money. She don't really care about us, because I was going through shit in real life. So I didn't want people to think I was scamming them or that I was just taking their money. It's been a rough year for me. How many times do I have to say it's been a rough year? So when it came to the deportations of people, I didn't have it. I didn't have any energy. Literally. It's like having a ton of books on your back. And if you put one more book on my back, I'm literally going to break. But do you think people care? No. No, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. All they care is about them, their problems. How can you serve me? That's it. And then when it comes to your problems and people being there for you when you're going through a hard time, they don't have nothing to give for you. They don't show up for you. And then some of them don't even know how to show up in the way that you show up. So yeah, I'm a little more picky, selective with what I'm giving my energy to this year. It's too much shit going on. I'm still not over the fact that that 10-year-old boy was interviewed after a mass shooting. That does not sit well with me. It does not sit well with me at all. I'm not over that. I'm just not. And then I have to see this man be plastered all over my timeline and newsfeed. And then I have to see the quotes that he left behind about the Second Amendment. Yet I'm still not over the fact that that kid almost could have lost his life in a mass shooting. Like, how am I supposed to feel about that? I don't understand. And so it's like, even when Black women are like, hey, I need to take care of myself. Hey, and it's no disrespect for you. It's no that I don't have any empathy or sympathy towards your situation. I just don't have it to give right now. Literally. Literally. But I guess like people want us to crash out. People want us to just go in a manic episode or something like that for people to actually see like, oh my God, she's serious. She's serious. Then the little ounce of sanity that I get is from the Nicolandria situation. Y'all want to know why I was focusing on Nicolandria so much? Was because it was like a little piece of something this year. A little piece of inspiration, something that made me feel good for once this year. So yeah, I put a lot of focus on that situation and the inspiration and the good energy that I got from talking about it. That's literally the little, and yes, the Nicolandria situation. It's like the little piece of heaven that I've had this year. So if you want to know why, I don't understand why is Yanni so obsessed. That's the only best thing I've seen come out of 2025. I'm just being honest. That is like literally the only best thing I've seen. And to see another Black woman win and so in chaos like this, Yeah, it makes me happy. It makes me feel warm and cozy on the inside because it's been a rough year. It wasn't about that man being white. It was about how he treated her. It wasn't about that man being white. It was just about how she was able to reach her dreams. She talked so many things into existence, and those things came into fruition this year. And even though I didn't have that type of year, it's nice to see that she did. That's all it was. It wasn't no deeper than that. That's really all it was. It wasn't me being delusional about love and relationship. It was just like, damn, even though I'm having a rough year, it's nice to see you win, sis. It's nice to see you in a good place. It's nice to see you happy. It's nice to see you glow. Like, it's nice. Like, I'm like, please rub off on me, sis. Please. I need that right now.
If that's you and you're stressed out and you're tired, I would implore you to start reframing how people treat you and talk to you and put you in situations that you have no business fixing, because just because you help a few people, it don't mean you're equipped to help everybody, and it doesn't mean you should have to. And what you should do is start making it very clear that those efforts are really, I'm not a help everyone person, but you have to start letting people know you reciprocate and you return energy. You don't help everybody. You strategically help people that are around you. It's called community building for a reason. And, I especially think a lot of younger people need to hear this, because we think being a good person is doing everything for everybody, but really you end up enabling people and depleting yourself. So I just wanted to say that don't lose your generous spirit. Just be generous for the people that have earned it a little bit. And that does not look like the same for everybody all the time. It doesn't necessarily mean that sometimes there's times where it's not reciprocated. That's okay. Keep it pushing. You know not to do it again for that person. But yeah, we're not depleting ourselves anymore as Black women. And we're for damn sure going to learn how to start actually building community, because the people who are giving so much of themselves truly deserve to be around people who are giving them just as much back.
And I'm done pouring into people that don't pour into me. Like, this year, like, really revealed that to me. And then the reason why I connect to Olandria so much is because she pours into people like I do. And I saw how she was treated. And this year, with me going through so much, the fact that I have poured into people for years, and this year I needed someone to pour into me. So yeah, I'm way more selfish now. Of course. Yep. And I was proud to see that Olandria was selfish and she's winning. That's inspiration to me. So after a while, it gets old constantly getting shitted on by people that you've been there for. And the shit on is they're just not there for you. They just they don't show up for you. They don't even know how to look past themselves to be there for you, to be selfless, to be a shoulder, to be an ear. Literally, I've been a shoulder, I've been an ear, I've been a counselor. Hell, at some points I've been a mother, cuz I know how to nurture. It just, after a while, it just gets old. So it's nice to see that as a woman, you can be selfish as fuck. You could finally say, fuck it, I'm gonna choose myself, and see somebody win. So yeah, like, there's a reason why I was just so obsessed with Olandria, because I'm like, she's showing me what's possible when you choose yourself and stop pouring into people that don't even know how to pour back into you, don't know how to defend you, stand up for you, don't know how to vouch for your character, your reputation. They literally do nothing at all. And you would never sit back and let that happen if the roles were reversed. But they sit back when the roles are the way that they are, and they do nothing at all. It gets old. And it's like, I don't know, maybe this year it took me going through real shit for me to realize I'm not doing that no more. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not, like, I shouldn't be the only one checking up on people, seeing how they're doing. Hey, is everything all right with you? Da da da. I'm done doing that. If you're not doing that for me, I'm not doing that for you. Period. 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 And I thought, well, maybe I wouldn't feel so exhausted if I wasn't just freely giving out my energy like that. So I'm selfish. I'm very selfish. And this year has taught me how to be selfish and why it's important to be selfish. Why? Because if not, I would have ran myself into the ground this year. Like, honestly, trying to be there for my family, my mother, trying to be there and fill in for this and for that, for this issue. I would have literally ran myself into the ground. I probably would have had to go back to therapy, honestly, and stay. I only had 1 or 2 sessions this year, and that was enough for me to, like, get myself back together. But seriously, like, I just don't have it to give this year. I don't. It's not personal. It don't have nothing to do with this man and his really his opinions or anything like that. It just has to do with I just don't have it to give. I don't. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And another thing that I had to witness was to see Black women get let go and fired, and then to see their videos on TikTok and they're questioning their worth. Questioning their worth.
Period. I'm not done yapping, but I should also add that the reason why this is so important is because it gets to a point where people start feeling like your generosity is owed to them. Tell me I'm lying. If you are a generous person and you will eventually get to a point where people start dog walking you and making you feel like your generous efforts are owed, the moment somebody starts making me feel like my generosity is owed, you're not above the program, you gotta go.
Woo! All right. Y'all, I've cried this year. I've cried more than I probably have my entire life. Like, honestly, it's been that. It's been that. It's been just like that. Like, it's just been a crazy year. So, and this is why I say, like, well, where's the empathy and sympathy for me? Where is it for me? It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I'm just supposed to put down everything I'm going through, and I'm just supposed to pour because that's what's expected. I'm supposed to perform. I'm supposed to put on this fake ass mask and give. I don't want to do that, and I'm not doing it. So I don't know what else to say. I'm only making this video to really encourage people and to make it known I'm not celebrating this man's death. I don't celebrate death. I never have and I never will. I don't care what it is, who it is. You know, I'm really big on leaving it up to God. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm not about controlling outcomes, controlling situations, manipulating situations. I'm big on releasing control. So I'm encouraging my followers not to celebrate, not 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 to praise this situation because it could create a race war. And I don't want that. I don't want that for us. I don't want us to now have to be worried about our safety. Okay? Like, it's okay for you to extend empathy by not doing anything at all and just being indifferent about it and just removing yourself completely from the situation. You don't laugh, you don't mock, you don't praise, you don't do anything. You don't wish negatively. You do nothing. And you just pour and you continue to pour into yourself. So I made this live because people were putting words in my mouth that I never said, assuming I'm out here doing things that I never did, My family, we don't celebrate stuff like this. We don't celebrate violence. We don't, of any kind. I wasn't raised in a family to celebrate violence at all. I come from a family that's very principled, to the point at sometimes I feel like we're foolish. Yeah, I do. Because sometimes, we can't meet people who are vibrating so low. We don't match their energy. We send them love. And sometimes I feel foolish for that, because the only thing they have for me is hate. So I come from a black family that's principled, and we don't spread hate and we don't spread violence. We don't do that. We believe in consequences and accountability, but we don't spread hate and we don't spread violence. So I don't know why that was projected on me at all. I don't. I don't do that. Thank you for the super chats, y'all. It's just, it's been a lot. And it's just like, this is one thing that we shouldn't have to be concerned about, because we have so much other stuff to be concerned about, Like it's just too much. And again, I'm not over seeing that 10-year-old boy. Y'all are not going to normalize that for me. Y'all have normalized seeing people get shot on social media, but y'all are not going to normalize interviewing a 10-year-old boy on camera after a mass shooting. You're not doing that. And then to see that as a woman that's choosing to be child free, it's just added confirmation that I believe that I'm making the right choice and decision. Because as a black mother, because I would be a black mother, my motherhood would be black motherhood, and black motherhood looks differently. I don't even think I would be able to enjoy motherhood. But if I'm being honest, if I'm being real, I don't think American women can enjoy motherhood in the way that we deserve. Like, let's be real. I have people asking me about kids, and I'm just like, I can't even get excited about it, even if I wanted to. And then sometimes, like, I try to get excited for other people that are having kids, but then I for a sec I do get excited, and then the world and the issues in the world come flooding in. Like, well, what future will they have? Like, what will school look like? Will they deal with this and will they deal with that? It's too much. It used to be a thing in America that, the only people that really had to worry about something when it comes to motherhood were black mothers. But now it's American mothers. It's American mothers. So no, you're not going to normalize me seeing a 10-year-old boy get interviewed after a mass shooting and him talking about his friend saving his life that was also 10 years old. You're just not. So I just, again, and then when it comes to the situation, I really just don't know how to feel. And I think that's why I don't have any empathy or sympathy. I don't know how to feel at all. I don't. It's too complicated. There's too many nuances to the situation. It's just very complicated, which is why I'm kind of left in this space of feeling indifferent, because I really don't know how to feel. I really don't. I really don't. And I think it's fake and performative that people are just jumping to, oh, I feel this way, or I feel that way. I'm like, have you even processed what all of this means and the impact that this will have on all of us? The good, the bad, and the indifferent. It's like it's pulling you in all of these different directions. It's like, well, what direction do I go in? And so for me and my sanity, it's like, let me just feel indifferent. Like, let me just feel indifferent about it, because I can't go this way. I can't go this way. And it seems like every direction is extreme. And I'm not an extremist, which is why I'm not celebrating this man's death. So that's all I got to say regarding this situation. Please give this video a thumbs up. I don't know if people are getting their notifications or not. I don't know if I've been shadow banned. I don't know what the situation is. But if you could give the video a thumbs up so that this can be pushed out into the algorithm, so that really all of my videos can be pushed out into the algorithm, because I don't think they're being pushed out into the algorithm. What else? That's really it. If you could just share my content, it doesn't even have to be this video. Maybe you don't agree with this video. You don't have to share this video, but any other content. Also, maybe unsubscribe and resubscribe and redo the whole notification bell so that you can get notifications. I've been getting comments of people that are saying that they're not getting notifications. So maybe you just need to refresh. Maybe you just need to refresh the whole notification bell thing, like undo it and then redo it to get the notifications. But that's all that I have regarding this situation and this video. And if you want to take this offensively and personally, that's your choice. I'm not really here to tell you how to feel when it comes to something like this, a tragedy like this. I just know that I'm not celebrating this man's death. I'm not praising this man's death. The last thing that we need is a race war.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.